Good evening down under. Um, Uranium miners, Australia. I haven't forgot about you. I haven't forgot about you. I just did the US and Canada. Again, we're getting a bit of bounce here. If you want the detailed 1 hourly technical analysis on URNM, I released it like an hour ago. Check it out. Um, but yeah, we're getting a bounce. We're retesting from the lower side. So again, technical bounce, but again, we have more work to do to get really bullish here short term again. Check it out if you want to see that. If you have already, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, follow me here, Twitter, on YouTube, and again, if you want to become, a a a a paying member here for a very low price, in my honest opinion, I have to say that. You will get more videos with more detailed entries, targets for some of the better setups that I find during the week, the months, and so on. So yeah, if you want to join, you will also get private access to the private Twitter where I post these more in-depth setups. With that said, let's see the miners down under. By the way, uranium miners URNM bounced roughly 2% today. Okay, it's a good start. Again, I'm not convinced just yet, but again, with the bias that we have that uranium miners did very well today, the individual ones. I'm expecting, obviously, a bounce tomorrow, or within 2 hours before the markets open in Australia, that we ought to see a bounce in these miners. And with that, keep that in mind when we go through the charts here. And I think 50% of them are at a technical level where it just makes sense to bounce. This one, 9-2E, is definitely one of them. Again, here we're expecting a bounce tomorrow because that is our bias, right? Due to the fact that the past 2 days has done very well for the US markets. So with that bias, huge move up, breakout, retest. What is most likely going to happen tomorrow? We're probably going to get, this is the weekly, so we're probably going to get a nice green candle here, a doji into the retest, 3 falling lower lows here. If you're not invested here in this one here and you want to, entering here with a stop below that doji, perfect risk reward, low risk reward entry, and you can run this way higher. The 30 week is coming up nicely. So yeah, that is my take here. Really looks incredibly well. Breakout retest, stunningly beautiful. AEE is still, just going sideways. Nothing has happened here. Bullish, bearish, and a third touch here would actually be a very good entry with a stop below, maybe that low or the third low, depending on how you want to play it. But definitely with the bias that we have long term for uranium miners, I think this is just, charging up to really at some point in time just go for a massive move. We have taken out the long-term golden, so we're breaking out, going sideways. The probabilities is the upside. So yeah, H, again, we are heavily biased tomorrow to the upside. And again, now we are testing, if I can align it perfectly here, we are testing the long-term green uptrend, March 2020 lows, that triangle, there, and we're testing it again. So we want to see tomorrow on the daily here, a nice green candle at the bounce here. If we, for some reason, drop through here, that's worrisome. But the fact is we have come a long way down, oversold on the RSI. I do expect a bounce here. I would be insanely surprised if we don't see a bounce tomorrow. Insanely surprised. Bannerman, again here, Bannerman, look where we are in time. Long-term golden trend line here coming down. March, 2021 high, breakout testing, bull flagging below, and where are we now? Gee, I wonder. Again, I wonder what will happen tomorrow. Again, it's not 100%, but I wonder what will happen tomorrow, given the fact that we have some good, wins in our back from today's price action in the uranium markets in the US. Again, I do expect here that we are going to see a green bounce, a green candle here at that breakout of the massive long-term golden trend line, and we are coming retesting here again. That's my bias for tomorrow. Again, I could be wrong, but Hopefully I'm not. I am not. This is Boss Energy. Incredibly strong long-term bullish chart here. We are above the all-time highs. What I like most about the chart, and I've said that many times here, is that we are breaking out. And you will hear it again. It is what it is. We are breaking out from the all-time highs, bull flagging in toward that all-time high for the retest, and then we bounced higher. Yes, we're coming a bit deep here again, but most of the miners has done that. And already we're making a green week, and I do expect yet another green uptrend candle there. So we're making weekly higher highs and lower lows. 30 weekly is coming up nicely. Obviously, it needs to hold here. We need to bounce up from it quite heavily. But again, Boss Energy, nothing to worry about really. Deep yellow, good old deep yellow. Long-term golden trend line broken here. Breakout, retest, resumption. So again, weekly higher highs and lower lows. Within this blue channel here, again, it doesn't have the steepest angle of them all. But again, it is my take that we're going to visit that big resistance here at roughly, let's call it 1.9. And when we get above that, we will also take out the blue, and then we have open skies to target these up here. So for now here, 30 weekly is coming up nicely. Again, we came into the bull flag high. That's the bull flag there. We tagged it, pulled back, as we see very often. When you get into a bull flag high there, you often see sellers. The short-term sellers are coming in, retesting the golden, breaking out. Again, long-term, the trend is definitely in your back. Also for deep yellow. Also for deep yellow. So when and if we can get back above that, flagpole high there from the 2021, that's the goal here short-term, to get above exactly 1.37. Quite exactly. Well, if you want to take these high, it's 1.4, but okay, 1.4 maybe. Elevate, same thing. Long-term, the long-term golden trend line, which is the one I use to define, the chart really. There it is. We have broken that one, and we are now at the green uptrend today with the bias that we have. Again, from today's action here, I do expect that we're getting a bounce here, heavily coming down quite sharp here. We have dropped roughly 35%, and we are almost oversold here on the daily, excuse me. And I do expect some sort of bounce here. How high will it go? I have no idea, but again, we want to get back above the 30 weekly very, very soon. But as long as the green holds, it's all fine. It really is all fine. GUE, a bit of a different one here. We left the yellow downtrend here while we're breaking out sideways, and we have a well-defined blue triangle here. Hopefully it breaks to the upside, obviously. But again, these breakouts where it goes sideways, you often get a lot of what's it called, jittery here. That's just my experience. I cannot explain why, but that's just my experience really. So basically, you want to make a confirmed higher high with the 30 weekly coming up before we are sure that the breakout is valid. That's just my personal experience. PDN, good old PDN here. Well, long term, you need to see it. It's just incredible. Long term double rail breakout here. Boom. August 2023. What happened since? As always, not always, but we came into that high there. That's the flagpole high, getting rejected, recharging, retesting, and again we are sitting here on top of that resistance support now, 1.12 roughly. And again, with the bias that we have, I do expect a big, nice green candle for PDN tomorrow. Peninsula, again, I know many people like this stock from a fundamental point of view, but it has underperformed quite heavily to its peers. And what it really needs to do is to get out of this just downtrend here. It needs to break, and the level to get above right now is 0.15. But for now, it's still in a downtrend, and it needs to get something like this before we can say that's really, really bullish. I know the fundamentals for this company. I haven't read it, but I've heard it from people on Twitter that does a lot of good fundamental stuff, that this stock is is a really good candidate for the future. But again, right now the chart is just pointing to a downtrend really. So SLX, I'm a bit torn here. This is Silex Systems SLX. Long-term golden trend unbroken, and we were in this insanely, rising wedge here, where we tagged our predefined resistance zone up there, and then we came all the way down. And in my view, I think it's just a matter of time before we are going higher. The reason is that SLX actually did very well while most of the uranium markets corrected from 2021 to 2023. It actually went up quite heavily. So in my view, this should be some sort of cup and handle play. It should be, at least for now. That's what I'm seeing here. Also, note we could have a potential double top there. So again, but it is my take that given the fact it has performed so well during the the 2-year bear market, that's a very good sign for this stock. Lotus is coming up and it looks really, really compelling here. When and if we break that red resistance, that's when this one, starts to target the upper trend line of that blue uptrend there. We have the golden is broken. That side, that's long gone. Breakout, retest, and then you can see here we formed that resistance again almost here. So I think when and if we break, that is going to propel this to a lot higher prices. And it could be one of those where the uranium bull market for this stock as well also ends when and if we get to the blue here at some point in time. But again, we need to see how it gets there. The speed, the angles, the setup, all that good stuff. At that point in time, we can determine if that is it or if there's really more to it. But again, the chart will show you about it. We have here CXU. That's a small one here. That's one of the viewers that would like to have it in. So I did it. And weird chart in my view. Again, the only thing that is somewhat well-defined is this blue downtrend here, which we have broken. That's all really. What you want to see in my view is this is the top of that formation, and this could be right there that you have that pennant bull flag here. And again, with the probabilities and all that, this should resolve higher. But also, we haven't done a big retest of that long-term breakout. So there are two scenarios in play. But again, I do think tomorrow this will have a green candle. So that should confirm, that we have, that kind of bullish sideways action before we go higher. A bit premature to say, but that is my view on this otherwise very weird price action just dribbling down really. So we need to look at our equal weighted ETF. Again, we're finding some bias here, higher highs and higher lows on the weekly. 30 weekly is coming up, not with the steepest angle, and that's also why we need to get some air on this one here short term, I think. But again, the trend change you can see here, lower lows, lower highs, as mentioned, higher highs and higher lows. And I do think we will just grind higher up to there. This, in my view, is just one of the biggest. You already have one here, then you have a handle, some sort of handle there. I do think this will go way higher in the future. So this is an equal weight ETF. So it's not perfect by any means. Measured against the spot price itself, you can see underperforming heavily since the 2021 highs. Again, we want to see that clear cut there. That's what we need to see. We need to negate, the falling wedge and also to get above the 30 weekly. And let's just agree that it's happening now. I don't know, but let's hope that it is, even though the miners has done insanely well ever since mid 2023 after the consolidation ended. It has underperformed big time still, the spot price, which has done remarkably insanely well compared to miners. So we're waiting for hopefully for the miners to start outperforming again, and just to have the pendulum swing in the other direction for the miners in relation to its spot price. So yeah, the markets in Australia will open, I think, in 1 hour. And hopefully, we will have a good green day. Based on today's price action, I'm very confident in that. assessment that we will have a great day in Australia. So guys, if you want to follow me, if you like what you see, please follow me here, YouTube, Twitter, and all that good stuff. And for the returning guys and girls, obviously, thank you for being a part of this. And yeah, let's ride this uranium bull market together until proven otherwise. That is what I'm always saying. If we are in an uptrend, we are in an uptrend until proven otherwise. So with that said, guys, see ya. Bye.